Hello everyone, welcome to the series of control system lecture. I am Anshu and I am here to discuss today time response analysis. Any system containing energy storing element like inductor, capacitors, mass and inertia possess certain energy. These energy storing elements are the part of the control system and cannot be avoided if the energy state of system is disturbed. Then it takes a certain time to change from one state to another. This disturbance sometimes occurs at the input, sometimes occurs at the output and sometimes at the both ends. The time required to change from one state to another is known as transient time, and the value of current and voltage during this period is called transient response. These transients may have oscillations which may be either sustained or decaying in the nature. This will depend upon the parameter of the system. For any system, we obtain a linear differential equation. The solution of this linear differential equation gives the response of the system. Thus, the time response of the control system is divided into two parts: a transient response, a steady state response. From the figure, it is clear that the transient response is the part of the response which goes to 0 as time increase, and the steady state response is the part of the total response. After transient has died, if the steady state response of the output does not match with the input, then the system has steady state error. For example, if we take an example of a bouncing ball, and suppose we are holding a bouncing ball in our hand and we suddenly dropped it. So the energy state of that bouncing ball is disturbed. Now it will go kinetic potential, and there will be changes in the energy, and after some time it will stop. So wherever your ball will stop, so the time the ball takes from reaching from your hand to the ground is known as your transient time. And the steady state response we can define, suppose we are in an elevator or a lift. So suppose if the lift is stopped at an exact level of the floor, we can say the steady state error is 0. But if the lift stops somewhat above or below the your ground level, then we can say that is your steady state error. So next is a standard test signal. The analysis of time response of a control system, the following input signals are used. These input signals are known as your test signals because these input signals are, we can say by convention, they have a predefined value. That's why they are known as standard test signals. So whenever we need to apply a test on any system, we use these signals as your test signal. So one of them is step signal. So the step signal imitate the sudden change characteristics of actual input signal. So these step signal, we can say ut is equal to a when t is greater than 0 and it is 0 when t is less than 0. If the value of a is 1, the step signal is called unit step signal. Next is your ramp signal. The ramp function starts from the origin and increase or decrease linear with the time. So let in this case RT is given as AT when t is greater than equal to 0 and it is 0 when t is less than 0. If the value of A is 1, it is known as unit ramp signal. Next is our parabolic signal. The parabolic signal, the value of RT is 0 for t is less than 0 and is quadratic function of time for t greater than 0. The parabolic function is defined as pt is equal to at square by 2 when t is greater than equal to 0 and it is 0 for t less than 0. For a equal to 1, it is called as unit parabolic signal. Next is your Laplace transform of test signal. In this case, if we are using Laplace form of the test signal, in that case the impulse signal, that is del t, is given as a when t is greater than, when t is equal to 0, and 0 for t other than 0. So it is given as Laplace transform for impulse signal is a, and for unit impulse it is 1. For step signal, the Laplace transform is given by a by s. For ramp signal, Laplace transform is given by a by s square. For parabolic signal, it is given as a by s cube. Now the time response of a control system. As I told you, time response of dynamic system responds to input expressed as a function of time. So it is given as your transient response or steady state response. So the time response of control system, we can say that when the response of the system is changed from equilibrium, it takes some time to settle down. It is called transient response. The response of the system after transient response is called steady state response. So the time response of control system. So in this we have transient and steady state response. So whenever there will be any change in or disturbance in the input, then it will take some time to get settled down. This is known as your transient time. And after your system has settled down, if there will be some error, then we can say it is a steady state response. One example of transient and steady state response is pendulum. Suppose if I disturb the energy state of pendulum, so it will go on oscillating, and it will keep on oscillating till the time it will come to the rest. So when, if your pendulum is resting at exact place where from where we have started, in that case the steady state response is 0. But if there will be, it will be somewhat left or right, so the change, the value of the change in left and right is known as your steady state error. So next is the first order transient response of first order system. So what is a first order system? The first order system has only one pole. That means where K is the DC gain and T is the time constant. The time constant is a measure of how quickly a first order system respond to a unit step input. The DC gain of the system is the ratio between the input signal and the steady state value of output. The first order system is given as Gs equal to 10 by 3s plus 1. The DC gain is 10 and the time constant is 3. So we can decide the order of the system by the highest power of the denominator polynomial. In this case, we have 3s plus 1. That means the power of s in the whole expression is s1. So highest power of a denominator polynomial gives us the order of the system. So for this, from this we can say the order of system is 1 and the DC gain is 10 and time constant is 3. So this will, for the following system we can write Gs is equal to 3 divided by s plus 5. So we can write it like 3 by 5 1 upon 5s plus 1. The DC gain of the system is 3 by 5 and the time constant is 1 by 5. So the impulse response of the first order system, suppose we have taken first order system as K divided by Ts plus 1. So in this case, if the input Rs input is your impulse response, Rs where Rs is the input, Cs is the output. So we have considered the input as impulse response. So Rs is del S, that is the Laplace transform of del S is 1. So Cs is given by K Ts plus 1 into Rs, that is 1. So this is a Now if we rearrange this equation, we can write it like kt divided by s plus 1 upon t. So in order to compute the response of the system, we in response of the system in time domain, we need to compute inverse Laplace transform of the above equation. So first we'll apply the inverse Laplace transform of this. So we have got that ct is equal to k by t e to the power minus t by t. That means it's a exponential decaying. That means if k is 3, t is 2 seconds, then ct is equal to k divided by, and the response of the system is exponentially decaying. Next is the step response of first order system. So if we are finding the step response of the first order system, so in this case we have cs is equal to k divided by s into s plus st plus 1. So if rs is 1 upon s, as we have rs as unit step, rs is 1 upon s. So in order to find the time response of this, first we applied partial fraction. So when we apply partial fraction, it is given as k by s minus kt divided by ts plus 1. Then we apply inverse of Laplace transform. So when we take inverse of Laplace transform and when we put the value of ut as 1, then we have ct is equal to k 1 minus e to the power minus t by t. When t is equal to time constant, then in this case, if we take t small t equal to capital T, that we have ct as 0.632. So that means where t is the time constant and it is defined as the time required for the signal to attain 63.2% of final or steady state value. The time constant indicates how fast the system reaches the final value. Similarly, the time constant further is the system response. A large time constant corresponds to sluggish system. So from the exponential curve, it is clear that the magnitude of the output response equal to the 63.2% of the final value in one time constant t. In 2 time constant, the magnitude of the output reaches to 86.4% of the final value and approximately 98% in the 4 time constant. When the actual output reaches within 2% of the desired output, it is said that the steady state response has reached, and the time 4t is known as your settling time. Now in this case, if you want to find the steady state error, in this case we can find the steady state error of this is 0. Next we are finding the time response of ramp signal. For a unit ramp signal, rs is 1 upon s square and cs is equal to k divided by s square into st plus 1. Now if we apply the partial fraction, then we are getting cs as 1 upon s square minus t by s plus t divided by s plus 1 upon t. And when we apply inverse of Laplace transform, we get ct as, in this case we get, if we apply inverse of Laplace transform, we get ct as t minus t plus e to the power minus t into t. That means the steady state of error in this case is t. The steady state error equal to t, where t is a time constant. For smaller time constant, the steady state error will be small and the speed of the response will increase. This shows this, and thank you. Next I will discuss the time response of second order system. Have a nice day.